It's blustery, and even there's signs of snow in the forecast. Welcome back, Real Man's Garage here. We're inside today because it is kind of a different atmosphere outside. Yeah, not very good at all. From the thumbnail you gathered that this is all about hibernation. It's about the change in temperature, the change in seasons, and how it affects FIMI drones. FIMI came out with 3 or 4 new drones for 2024. They came out with the X8 Tele, they came out with the FIMI Mini 3 and the FIMI Mini 3 SE. You could say the X8 Pro, but there's not much word on that one. But anyway, let's get into what happens when the weather changes and you have a FIMI drone. FIMI drones and cooler weather conditions. Let's have a little history lesson here, a little walk down memory lane, okay? Way back when FIMI came out with the X8 Mini version 1, and they had the X8 SE 2020 and 2018, okay? When cooler weather came with those drones, like below 10 degrees Celsius, okay, things started to happen. On the 2018 and 2020 X8 SE, you noticed a little bit of a jello effect. You know, your video would pan and all of a sudden start to waver. You see the waves, and that's called jello. That happened. You could compensate that a little bit, and it even in the instructions, it says in the settings, you can use the gain control to try and accommodate for that. You can put the gain up a bit or down a bit to try and see if that helps. And it did, to a point, with the X8 SE models. But with the X8 Mini models, and I'll put a video up here somewhere, and you can see my jello effect, the proof, because FIMI denied it, and proof that under 10 degrees Celsius on the X8 Mini, you got jello and you couldn't fix it. Therefore, the X8 Mini version 1 was shelved for the winter. Fast forward to 2024, they come out with the X8 Tele, they come out with the FIMI Mini 3 and FIMI Mini 3 SE. What happens with those when the temperature gets lower? So I'm going to run a clip. I'm going to run a little clip that I took in the summer just past with the FIMI Mini 3. And the FIMI Mini 3 SE, on a nice day, takes pretty reasonable images as well. And you'll notice when I run this, and there's no sound to it, but I'll run it, and you'll see that there's very clear imagery. Very, very nice. Then I'm going to run, part of the clip will run what I did last week. About 3-4 days ago anyway. Temperature was 4 degrees Celsius with the Mini 3, the 3 SE, the Potensic Atom 3-axis gimbal, believe it or not, and the X8 Mini version 2. So let's roll that. Have a look. So now you've seen that clip. Go back and watch it again and pay attention. You notice that in the cooler weather, not really the focus, but it's not as clear, not as crisp. It's kind of mushy. It's muddy. Okay? There you go. Here's another clip that I just did a couple of days ago. It was in the afternoon, excuse me, and you can really tell, this is with the FIMI Mini 3, you can really, really tell the focus is off, really off. Okay, let's run that clip. So there you notice it's really off, okay? So in the earlier one, you notice that the Potensic Atom, that has a 1/3 camera, not as good, supposedly, is fairly crisp and clear. You also notice the X8 Mini version 2 was crisp and clear. Well, eventually down the road, FIMI admitted that there was a problem. So they didn't fix it. They introduced a new version, which was the X8 Mini version 2. That fixed everything. And they didn't fix the X8 SE 2020s or whatever. They came out with the X8 SE 2022. And that flies really good in cold weather. And here's a clip of that. So the reason for all this was I had been reading in the comments and on forums that some people had noticed a little mushiness in some of the FIMI Mini 3 and FIMI Mini 3 SE footage. And they attributed that to the weather conditions and the temperature in specific. So I decided to go out and try this. So I went down to the falls that I've done, runs before at, and I got some of this footage that you've seen there. And you can see, you saw the differences between you could actually see the sign, and then you couldn't see the sign, and you saw the mushiness, and you saw this, that, and the other. So I didn't just take the one shot. You've seen a few different shots, a few different variations, and I've probably flown each one of them 4 or 5 times. And we're talking the X8 Mini version 2, the Potensic, the X8 SE 2022, the X8 Tele, okay? And speaking of the Tele, look at this clip. This is from the Tele in 4 degrees Celsius. It might be a little bit mushy like the rest, but the big thing with this one, Jello. I see Jello. Welcome back, Cotter, as they say. Oh my goodness. X8 Tele, you've got Jello under 10 degrees Celsius. Look at that. So then you have to go into the gain. So if I go into here, and I go into the thing, and I go into advanced, gain, I go to 0. See what happens. Nope. Let's go in there again. Advanced, settings. Oh, I know why. Go that way. Enter. Oh, that didn't work. Enter. Okay. So with 120, 125, how's that? 125. A lot better. So after all that, we've flown them all. We've flown all the new stuff that came out from FIMI this year, and we've flown the older stuff, the X8 Mini version 2 and the X8 SE 2022. And they work well in cold weather. And I flew them last winter, and they were really good. Okay. The version 1 X8 Mini, no, and they didn't fix it. The 2020, no, they didn't fix it. Now, the Tele is in the same boat. It's got jello. I did tweak it a little bit. I put it up to like 120 from 100, and it did fix it a little bit. But as soon as you zoom in any amount at all, you get jello. So it really didn't fix much, okay? But it did help a little bit. Very reminiscent of what's happened in the past with FIMI. So, FIMI, hibernation time. Do we have to put all these new drones up on the shelf and wait for spring? I hope not. I hope there is a fix. I hope something does happen. But I do notice that there is a definite difference when the temperature gets below 10 degrees Celsius. And I'm not alone. And I've sent this off to FIMI, and I've got a response from several of their reps saying, yes, we know there's a problem. Nobody said anything about fixing it, but yes, they know there's a problem. So, FIMI, we got a problem. I hope you can fix it, because other than that, the drones are great. Okay? There you go. That's all I got to say. Let's see what happens. Leave a comment below. If you have a similar issue, similar conditions, let me know. And until next time, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll see you in the nicer weather. Or when they fix it. Bye now.